Hi, thanks for checking out this video. We're going to look at Conception by George Shearing. So I did a video, I've done a couple of videos about this tune. Did one on the melody, so be sure to check that out. And I did a harmonic analysis on it too. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about improvising on it. I'm just gonna play a little bit and just kind of go through it about 4 measures at a time. So we'll start with just the beginning here. So we have the E minor 7 flat 5 to the A flat 7, and then going to major. So we have E flat minor 7 flat 5. So you can practice kind of starting from any one of those notes from that chord and just kind of working from there. And then going into this A flat 7 with a flat 9. So you could actually think about a diminished 7 if you wanted to there. Okay, so I just played around a little bit there with the beginning. So the second half, so the third measure there, we have D flat major, and then the B minor. So you could almost just kind of take a few notes and then take them up a half step. That would be an idea there. And then going from that A major 7 to the A flat major 7, so we're going down a half step there. So you could use some of the same notes and then kind of transpose them down a half step. Okay, for the very beginning, the E flat minor 7 flat 5 to the A flat 7 flat 9. You can kind of think of your like a 2-5 to C minor, C sharp minor, although we don't end up going there, but we can think about that. And at that point, just go into major. Okay, and then we're going into the B minor to the A major 7. So we're kind of stepping away from D flat a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at the next 4 measures. All right, so we have another 2-5, the A flat minor 7. Okay, and then we have the G flat, going to a G flat. So you can think about like a 2-5 in G flat major, and then rather than going to a major 7 chord, go to the G flat 7. Okay, so I just played the first couple measures of that line that we're looking at. Okay, and then the second half of that, we have B flat 7, A 7. So we're kind of going down by half steps here. So one simple approach might be to kind of transpose by half step some of the content and maybe work downward. Okay, you could also maybe play something like so I'm just kind of taking the group of notes and starting from the lowest note, moving down a half step, and just kind of going with that pattern. Okay, so you could also just kind of mix it up too. You could maybe start on different notes each time. Different degrees of so I did something like from the root there. I think I just played that. But let's say you play. Start it from the root there, then go to A7, start from the 5th, and then start from the 3rd of the chord, and then start from the root on the G, something like that. That might be kind of cool. So, but just some ideas. So I'll just play around a little bit with the with those 4 bars. Okay, so let's look at the next 4 measures. So the A section has 12 bars, right? 12 bars. So so here we are, kind of the last 4 bars of the A section. Okay, so these the first 2 measures, at least of this line, we have a 2-5-1-4 in E major. Okay, and then the second half we have a 2-5 to 1 in D flat. Okay. So so if you've been playing and practicing these kinds of progressions, this probably won't be too difficult. So E major, A major. Okay, and then we're going to go into E flat minor 7 to A flat 7 to D flat major 7. Okay, and well, anyway, let's just take a look at that. So so I'm just kind of playing arpeggios for. Well, let's look at the first 2 measures of that line at least. Okay, so just kind of moving through, trying to outline each chord there with arpeggios essentially, and then the second half of the form, or sorry, half of those 4 bars, so the 3rd bar that we're looking at here. Okay, so let's try to maybe just put that all together. So it's great to outline the chords, but you could also just think in sort of broad key regions here, since they a little different than the previous 4 measures. We have chords with that kind of common key center. We have 4 chords here that will work in the key of 4 sharps, and then the next 2 measures, we have 3 chords that are all kind of gonna fit in the key of 5 flats. Okay, so I'll just play maybe a little bit of an example here. Okay, so let's check out. So that's the A section. You would repeat that. But let's go into the B section. So the B section, so you can see we have we start out with a 2-5 in E major, and then and so the E, F sharp, and the A flat minor 7. The A flat minor 7 there you could think of as a G sharp minor 7. But you could think from E, you could think of that as the 1, and the F sharp as a 2, and the G sharp as a 3. The G sharp is going to become a 2 of a 5 when you have that A flat minor 7 to the D flat 7. So you can kind of pull from F sharp major or G flat major. But for the most part, for these 4 measures, we can think about the key of 4 sharps. Okay, and then what's notated there is the B7 alt. So we're just going to play the altered scale. Okay, and we'll use that. So we'll have so that will move outside of the key of 4 sharps there for a moment. Okay, so let's take a look at those last 2 chords. We could think of those as a 2-5. Okay, so we're gonna have a series of 2-5s here. Okay, so the previous one was a 2-5 in F sharp, and then we have a 2-5 in F, and then we have a 2-5 here in E, and then we have a 2-5 in D. Okay, so the kind of key centers are just moving down chromatically. So let's start with this 2-5 in F. So we've got G minor 7, to C7, to F sharp minor 7 to B7, and then E minor 7, and then A7. Okay, so here, pretty straightforward. It's just gonna be maybe just a challenge to move quickly through the tune. But let's just kind of try this out. So I'll just play maybe the first two measures. So you could take some content like and just kind of move it down a half step. So I just kind of played something. Okay, and then played something pretty similar. And just down a half step. So that could work. But you could also, when this is kind of moving down, so you could maybe move up. Do something like that. Maybe play something like that. So let me go ahead and play a little bit more on that. Okay, so and then you're back to the last A. So that's pretty much the content of the tune. So hopefully give you some ideas here, some things to think about. A pretty tough tune. You could take it like I just did and work on it in 4 measure segments. But you could also work at it going back and forth between just a couple of chords. You could just kind of maybe loop 2 chords at a time. So I'm just kind of playing with those first 2 chords. And then you could practice maybe the next 2 chords. And then maybe the next 2 chords. Okay, so I just kind of played around with the D flat in the B minor, just kind of moving back and forth between those two, and then the very last time I just kind of went on just a little bit. So that's a really great way to practice. Just get used to making one single change and just getting a sense for how notes move to the next one. So I won't do that for the whole tune, but that's kind of a practice idea maybe to try out. All right, well, thanks for checking out this video. Hope you enjoy it. So I've got links below in the description. If you want to try a lesson or just get in touch with me, say hello. I'd be happy to hear from you. And also, I'm starting to include some books and resources with the links that you can check out too. All right, well, thanks, and I hope you have a great practice session.